Hello.
Hello.
You look familiar.
What have you got there?
I've got some tea.
What kind of tea?
It is love tea.
Love tea.
You know what? I'm not sure what's in it. I think it's like chamomile
Yeah.
and some
It's
peppermint. Anyway, would you like to join our conversation? Katie and I are just going to talk a little bit, and you're welcome to join.
Come and take a seat.
Come and take a seat. Bring yourself a cup of tea or I don't know, whatever, anything you want to drink. Hello, I'm Gayle.
I'm Katie.
And this is the living room. We're going to have a retreat in March next year. It's called the River Flow Retreat, and we're going to have a little conversation about what it's all about and if this might be for you.
Yeah. So I think we've both just been feeling a lot more like deeper levels of what this retreat is. And of course, it's always lovely to go on retreat, to lead a retreat, but every retreat is very different and very deep, you know. So, what is
the river flow?
What is the river flow?
Besides a tongue twister, the river flow retreat. The river. Try to say it 3 times fast.
The river flow retreat.
The river flow retreat. The river flow retreat.
Yeah.
I feel like the river flow retreat. The river is a metaphor for life, and for me, the river flow retreat is a journey through the elements in nature to trust the flow of life and to reignite our passion for living.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that idea of the river as a metaphor for life, because we can think of it as just water, but we were talking about this idea that the river comprises movement, direction, trust, surrender, evolution, you know, like moving from the river source all the way into like merging into the ocean.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's a really beautiful, beautiful metaphor for life.
Yeah. You can't have, it's not just water, you can't just have the water.
Yeah.
Like the river cannot exist without the land around the water, without, you know, the source of the pool of the water. It cannot exist without the direction that it flows into. It cannot exist without everything else.
Yeah.
So it's not just the element of water.
Yeah. What would you say inspired the river flow?
I feel like for me, I long for more containers for people together and have conversations about life, or to experience life together, and to really connect with this earth that we're on. You know?
And what it means to be here, what it means to be alive. And I get it, like we all have different things that are important to us and all these different priorities and responsibilities, but for me personally, one of the most important things is to be asking this ongoing question of like, am I really living?
Yes.
And it's not this like big seeker thing of needing to have these huge experiences, but I feel it's a beautiful anchor. You know, I ask myself this question throughout different seasons in my life of what does it mean for me right now to be living? And that's very much what inspired the living room, to be honest. You know, like it's all about being cozy and feeling like we're a family here, but it's also, you know, held by this inquiry of what does it mean to be really living?
Like am I living the life that I want to live? Or I feel like it's all about knowing, taking the time to know and pause and ask yourself, is this what I want to be experiencing now?
Or even more simply, like, is life actually moving through me? Or am I kind of on this like autopilot, or almost like a robotic way of living, you know, like Monday becomes Tuesday, then Wednesday, and then before you know it's the weekend, and it's like
and then you start all over again, and you're like, is this the life that I want to live?
Is this how life wants to move through me? Because surely it can't be moving through the exact same way through so many different people. I don't know. Am
I living the life that I want to live, or am I living somebody else's dream? Am I living somebody else's life? Ooh,
it's a big question.
Am I stuck in this survival mode? Am I just going through the motions and
because this is so much more to life than that, and I get it, you know, as I said, we all have our responsibilities, but I think it's a real privilege to take some time to sit and really sit with that question and say, what does it mean for me to be living? And it doesn't have to be this great big thing of like, now I'm going to go move to a mountaintop. And like, it might just mean that you incorporate a little bit more of what you love doing in your day-to-day life. And this concept of flow, right? The river flow. What does that mean to you? What is flow?
What is flow? Yes. For me, flow is movement. It's this like continuous movement. Even in the moments where it feels like you are stagnant or not movement, in those times that you feel still, there is movement still happening. There's an internal movement or an internal building or resonating so that it can finally move forward or erupt and go into a new direction or something. So flow is that symbol of movement, that life is moving.
I feel this element of continuity. And fluidity, right? That when you speak about stillness not being no flow, like this element of continuity, that we can be in movement and then in stillness, but there's something that still travels all the way through, and this is what life is, right? Life is always in this fluid motion. Life is never stagnant, and when life is stagnant, that's almost there's death, you know. And then the interesting thing about when we put even the concept of death in flow, like death is part of the flow.
Yes.
You know, that when the river changes from a small stream into a great big wide river, it's still a river, there's still a flow there, there's still a continuity, but it no longer exists as a tiny stream. It's died as a tiny stream, but For me, it's about transformation. It's about transforming from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, and trusting that it's okay to let go of what maybe you were a small river and then now you're going into a bigger river, or maybe you're starting to dry up and then there's no more river. But knowing that in the transforming, you're just becoming a rain cloud, you know? All this like symbolism. You're becoming a rain cloud, and then the rain cloud's going to carry you back up to the source, and you're just going to start all over again. So trusting that transformation. I think that's what I hear so much is this trust, right? I think like sometimes this concept of flow state can feel a bit abstract, but really what it opens us up to, and everyone, I would pray, everyone has had a moment of being in flow, whatever it might be. Maybe you're having a really beautiful conversation with someone, or you're playing an instrument, or you're listening to music, and you just feel this like cohesion. That like, I don't need to resist what is happening right now, I'm just here and I'm flowing. And
there's no resistance, there's no doubt.
Questioning, there's no, do I go this way or that way? You're just there. And like, I want to invite the possibility that this doesn't have to be some abstract goal. Like, it's there. And when we have more experiences and more glimpses into this flow state, there's such a deep trust in life. I think that's really what we're longing for, right? To trust life, and then to actually love it and to live it with this sense of trust and love. I really feel that like the intention of all of my work, of all of your work, of everything that emerges here in the living room is to give people direct experiences of what can sometimes feel like very abstract or fluffy concepts, right? If I talk about being, or I talk about flow, or I talk about whatever it is, right? We can absorb information about what these things are, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in people having a direct experience that then holds the possibility of changing their perceptions of life. And this element of trusting life, I think, is so foundational to being able to live a life that is fully alive, and to truly be able to love life, not just because it's beautiful and we have all these blessings, but even in the hard times, to say like, whoa, like, okay, I'm so alive right now, and I'm grateful for this life.
And I'm grateful that I get to experience anger, grief, loss. I'm grateful that I'm feeling rage.
To be open to it all. Because, and I feel that like, and a lot of what the River Flow Retreat is really like deeply honoring nature and creation as a teacher of a way of life, a teacher of a way of life that embodies trust. Because you don't see nature not trusting life. Nature just trusts life. Yeah.
For sure.
So how are we weaving that into the river flow with nature,
I'm
the
thinking,
elements?
yeah, I'm thinking about like, sorry, I'm totally thinking about a different thing now. I'm thinking about like, as you were speaking, about how, I don't know if it's true for us anymore, but maybe for the majority of city dwellers and Singaporeans, we might have this notion of, how you do this for what? Can make money or not? Like, is it productive? Just sit there and be and do nothing. Can make money, meh? Or like, you know,
No.
what is it gonna give? What is it gonna give me? But like, I was just thinking about like how I used to feel that way as well. Like, you know, there's always this destination in mind. Like, yesterday when we were in the artist room, we're going through this
creative restoration journey.
Basically, I was thinking about how in the past, I would think about the whether it is viable to be a singer. Like, if I do art, is it going to sustain me? If I, you know, actually learn how to be a musician,
will I be successful?
Will I be successful? Can I make money? Will I survive? And then I did some other thing, you know, and then I was so sad. And then it just made me think of, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all these riches, but then you're empty. You're empty. You don't feel I felt like I was living somebody else's dream. I was telling somebody else's story, and I broke. I was like, no, I cannot do this anymore. I have to remember who I want to be and what the stories I want to tell, and
how life wants to move through you.
Correct.
Specifically.
Yeah. So for me, like, I had to learn how to be in a flow state. I had to learn how to let go of the outcome.
Yes.
And we were discussing about what's the difference about doing and being.
Yeah.
And for me, sometimes the act of doing something or starting something gives me that access point into being in a flow state.
Yes.
Like I do something, and as I'm doing it, I let go of my idea of I want to achieve this thing.
What I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
And that,
And in the act of just doing it without the expectation, letting go of the expectation of where I'm going to go, I enter a flow state, and it's so difficult to describe in words. You have to feel it.
Yes.
You have to feel the flow state.
Yes.
There's no word that can describe it. You have to do the thing without expecting an outcome. And if you do it long enough with this intention of just surrendering to that flow, you enter it, and it's such a beautiful experience where everything just comes to you. I don't know, it's like almost a creative flow, gets passed through your arm, and you're like, wow, I'm writing something that feels so true for me, or I'm drawing something that's so true for me, or I'm making something that is like,
it's freedom.
Yes, it's freedom.
It's freedom.
Freedom of expression, freedom of
it's just freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
It's just the feeling of freedom, and don't we all want to be free?
So going back to your question about the elements, how do the elements play a part?
That could be a whole piece in and of itself. That's beautiful. Yeah. Teachings from the living room.
So how do the elements play a part in our journey through the River Flow Retreat? Miss Katie Johnson?
Well, I mean, I think like there's so many pieces that feel relevant in terms of what you would get out of the river flow, right? Even though we were just speaking about, let me think about what I want to say.
Yeah.
Something that feels very alive about the river flow is rekindling this spark for life, right? This passion for life. But I think what underpins that is trust. And when we look at nature as a teacher, and we literally see these examples of how, I mean, I don't even think the concept of trust even needs to exist in nature, because there isn't a sense of not trusting. Nature just fully is in flow. Whatever happens, there's a way of there's always if you think about the river, right, it's always flowing. Maybe the stream might be really small, maybe it's like big rapids, or maybe one day a branch falls down, but there's always this way of meandering. There's always this way of there's always a way of things coming together. And oftentimes with humans, we get really stuck and we get really confused, and we're like, oh my gosh, this thing happened, and how will I ever get over this? And somehow you do. right? So I really feel that when we strip things back and we look at just nature, the way that it just does its thing, and we really become like humble students of these processes, because there's divine, deep intelligence in what's going on. We can learn, and we can say, okay, this is how earth behaves, and this is how this is what fire brings, and this is what air does, and like in a very, very natural way, this wisdom assimilates.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, going through the journey. So we've got 5 days. The first day is earth. And like when these drop through, we're like, yeah, that makes so much sense, right? Like, okay, day 1, arrival, earth, grounding. So I'm like imagining people being barefoot on earth, us sitting on the ground, like really feeling the land. And Bali is so special to the two of us, and the land has been so prayed over for so long. And then day 2, we move into water. So we'll go to your favorite water temple. Maybe we'll even go to a waterfall, or, and be in this like renewal and purification and this washing away of, I think we just get a bit dusty sometimes,
Yeah.
like,
we get a little dusty, and then we need to
wash
it away.
And then fire. I think this is the one that we can get a little bit afraid of, right? Like when the fire starts coming, and when things are being burned away, or when we're feeling the heat of a moment, or conflict, or something that's like arising within us of anger or expression or passion. How can we also use this and realize like, wow, this is the teacher and the medicine and the gift of fire. And then air, this openness, this expression, this circulation, this broadcasting, sharing, clarity, insight. And then ether, which I mean, we're not here to say one is more important than the other, but ether is the space that holds all of it, right? And I almost get this sense of like a hug, that like no matter what happens, you're held in all of this lovingly. And fine, maybe the branch falls into the river, but you're held in this, and there's enough room for the river to meander and find a way through, around, under, over, through, whatever it is. It's not down to us to manufacture or figure out. But I think when we restore that sense of trust, and we see this evidence of like nature figuring it out, and then we remember like, oh, actually I'm part of nature too. I am a created being.
Yeah.
Like this love comes as a natural emergence of restoring that safety. Almost, right?
Yeah.
That was a big old ramble, but
No. I loved it. Thank you for your personal relationship with the elements and with nature. I totally 100% agree. And I think for me, like just layering on top of what you just said, I learned about these elements through the chakra system. So each element correlates or corresponds with different parts of the body, and also has different emotions that may be associated with different elements. And it really made sense to me when I learned it. I was like, wow, so intriguing. So like earth would symbolize stability, safety, your feelings of how connected you are with your environment, how safe you feel in your environment, how safe you feel in your community. Do you feel supported by your community? And that is the element of earth, the feeling of grounding.
That's the root chakra, right?
Yeah, so it's the root, so it's the base of your spine, also like the bones of your body. So like that solidity of your body, or the feet. Yeah. And then moving on to water would be a symbol of adaptability, flexibility. It also relates to how creative you allow yourself to be, letting yourself feel joy, pleasure, leaning into the desires that you have. So when your water element is out of balance, maybe you feel hesitant or you feel shameful to allow yourself to feel pleasure, to allow yourself to feel the joys of life. So that's the water element, that adaptability, fluidity, and it's relates with our reproductive organs. So that's how we're here. It's through that connection.
The waters of life.
Yeah, it's through the connection of sperm and egg.
Wow.
How it comes together, and then you were created, and a beautiful Katie was here, and beautiful Gayle was here. So
thanks, Linda and Roy.
Hey, thanks for. Thanks And so that's water element, right? And then moving into fire, represents friction or energy. It could be scary, right? It's a stronger energy, and it correlates with our feelings of our willpower, our determination, how courageous or brave we feel about ourselves. It has to do with our sense of focus, determination, and how we fan that flame of that passion that we have for life. So how much fuel are we giving into that fire that we want to grow? Is it too much? If it's too much, then maybe we have like a little bit too much of an ego, or if we are self-centered maybe. Or if we have too little, then we lack self-esteem, or we lack that drive to take steps to find what it is we want to achieve for ourselves. So that's fire element, that bravery. And then air is the element of the heart, and yes, the element of the heart and the element of air, the air which we breathe that gives us life, that nourishes us and sustains us. It's also what gives life to our words, our voice. It also is how we communicate with each other and how we listen to each other, how we listen to nature and everything.
I didn't know it was the heart.
Yeah, it's the heart. So air is the heart, and if it's imbalanced, then maybe we are poor communicators. Maybe we don't listen with compassion. Maybe we always tend to want to speak over others, or maybe we gossip about people, or maybe we tell untruths about ourselves. It could be a lie like I'm not good enough, or I'm comparing myself to this person. I'll never be as good as that person, or whatever lie that it is you're telling yourself. Or maybe we tell lies about other people.
Wow.
Yeah, so it has to do with the element of compassion, love, and wanting to connect with others. That's why we communicate. Yeah. So that is the air element. And then ether. Ether actually, it comes from akasha. So it's like the air that's above the atmosphere.
Yes.
So what I really love about air element is that it is kind of like not direct opposite, but it's like in the opposite of earth. So they cannot be one.
Akasha?
Yeah. So it cannot be one without the other, right? So it's like earth and then there's sky, or earth and heaven. And then we are on this earth or planet that is held in this universe that is ever expanding. So it has to do with our intellect, our understanding, our knowledge, our intuition, knowing and trusting our vision to trust that we are on the path, or like a guided path, even though maybe there are obstacles in front of us now, or we feel like, oh my god, I'm so I don't know, I'm lost, I don't know where to go. Understanding that the stuckness is also part of the path. So that intuition. So the third eye element is clear seeing, and trusting in our intuition. And then actually there's the top, the crown chakra, which is like the element of, is it light? Oh man, I might be wrong, but
that makes sense.
Yeah. And it is knowing that we are part of something greater, or surrendering to the unknown. And having reverence for the unknown. Reverence for the mere miracle, mystery that we are here and we get to experience something. So it's like that is the crown.
You know, when you speak about this, I literally think of the journey of the river from source. Like if we say the root and us being in a physical body here on earth, in one physical place, we can say that that's a seed or a source. And then it's going through this whole journey of all the elements to go in, to return to, or to merge into this great beyond, which is the ocean, right? Where all the rivers come into one body of water.
And we are the body of, we are the river. The body is the river. So
if the river is coursing through all of this, and
so if there are areas in our chakras that may be stuck or blocked, then the river doesn't flow properly. So if we're feeling that we are not safe in our environment, or we don't have enough, we come from, maybe we're living in a space of lack, and we don't trust, so we're unstable. So the root, if you don't feel safe, then you cannot express, you cannot feel determined to do anything, because you don't have a good foundation. Or if you're experiencing loss, maybe you're grieving something, then everything else also starts to become a little bit more difficult. It becomes difficult to express how you feel. It kind of blocks you from being able to feel that deeper connection with life. I like that from the root going up, but also from the up coming back down.
Yes, this symbiotic flow, right? There's no like, it's not one direction to another. It's a cycle and it's a dance. And but I love how when we were laying out the days, that it was literally like we didn't even have to think about it. It was like dung 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 dung. This is the flow. And actually, what I see is how that flow is. There's an order to that flow. And this like really beautiful cosmic order and cosmic direction that is guiding our paths, even when we don't know, maybe especially when we don't know, because I feel that the true beauty of life is what manifests in the mystery, to be honest. Like, we can have all our great plans, but the greatest that your plans can ever be is as great as you could imagine for yourself. And your imagination is limited, right, by what you know of being like as being possible. When you open up beyond your own plans for yourself, grand as they may be, believe it or not, life has greater plans for you that you literally could not even think of. And I think back to like some of the most incredible moments of my life, or what's led me to where I am now. I didn't plan for any of it. I didn't plan to meet you.
No.
I didn't plan to meet the people who have now become like deep, deep, deep parts of my heart. There's all the things that I have the deepest gratitude for is nothing to do with my own plans for myself. It's actually directly to do with me surrendering my plans. Funnily enough. But you know, I think we can also talk about this concept of surrender, and that in itself can be an abstract concept, right? Oh, you just need to surrender. I get it, it's hard to do that.
Because when you surrender, you have to you give away your will.
And you're letting go of something that actually was feeling safe, and so it's big work to surrender. I'm not here to belittle that, but it becomes less big when you realize what you're part of, right? And I think like all this sharing and you know, these ideas are beautiful, but just spending time in nature alone, all of this is conveyed to you without words. It's really this like, and maybe it's different for everyone, right? Maybe for people who don't spend much time in nature, it might be a bit like, oh, there's a bug, there's mud, blah, blah, blah. Once we get past all of that and we come into this reconnection and this flow with nature, it's like incredible what we can receive. And actually, that's one thing I'm really looking forward to in the retreat, is our daily sharing, right? As much as we're here to share our pieces and what we've learned on our paths, I'm so curious to know, like, day in, day out, what's being revealed to you? And I can guarantee it will be something that blows my tiny little mind, because I'm like, what?
I liked what you said earlier about we weren't recording then. I like what you said about how what we're doing here, what we're trying to create, is in direct opposition with where we are.
It's counterculture. Counterculture. What has been coming up.
Can you speak about a little bit about counterculture?
So I mean, it's something that's been arising a little bit in my awareness the last few weeks of sometimes I like look at what I'm here to do and I'm like, oh, it's not easy, you know. There's flow to it, but it's not or it would be easier if I was doing something that everyone else was doing, because there's a path that I can follow. And then I'm like, why can't I just do what everyone else does? Why can't I just do like a whatever it is? And but I realized, like, cultures develop because of a certain way of life that works, right? But what I'm picking up in Singapore, and actually it's not exclusive to Singapore, these are global societal issues of like people being overwhelmed, overstimulated, you know, not even feeling connected to themselves. And what the living room is and what Path of Peace is, and your offerings as well, are like literally saying, okay, I'm not playing that game. I'm going to create a space where people can do the opposite of that. And like, even though it sounds romantic to be like, look, come here, it's counterculture. It's not something that people necessarily even know that they need, right? Because the culture right now is produce, do, achieve, perform, be successful. So how can you know that you need something outside of that? And so I had a few months ago, a friend reflected to me. She was like, pioneers pave the path. revolutionaries are always the ones who go first. And I'm not here to be like, I'm a revolutionary pioneer, but I know that there is a movement towards stillness, towards presence, towards connection, towards like actually living again.
Yes.
And I wrote a little short snippet on the counterculture thing.
Can you read it?
I can't. Like, I wish I could remember.
I really want you guys to hear this thing that Katie just magically wrote. I was like, did you write that, Katie?
I wrote it under brain dump section.
Okay, let's hear your. This is Katie's brain dump.
This is my brain dump. I said, a lot of our work here at the Living Room is counterculture, and the River Flow Retreat is no different. We feel this is our responsibility to offer spaces that are in direct opposition to society's norms, because the current culture of Singapore and the world is largely against the flow of life. Societal expectations, work pressure, performance, and masks, all of these contribute to people living life on autopilot and feeling half alive. The river flow beholds river as a metaphor for life and a teacher of how to live in accordance with life's flow rather than resisting it. Ultimately, it coalesces into a formidable love for life, a homecoming into vibrant vitality, a passion for living underpinned by a restored trust in life.
Oof, mic drop. So who is this retreat for? I feel like this retreat is for rebels. Now, this retreat is for artists or aspiring artists. It's for anybody who has been feelings of stuckness, anyone who has been feeling a call to reignite your creative spirit or creative spark. Yeah. It's for teachers, it's for
mothers.
For mothers.
For people who are like curious, if you've ever asked that question, like, is there more to life?
Yeah.
Like, this is it. And is
there more to life? Damn. Yeah.
Because there is, and it's actually not this great big thing. It's the feeling of like actually feeling alive, like taking a breath and feeling like, I've had moments where it's like just this deep gratitude for being a living human, and maybe that sounds like some huge experience. It's really not. It's so simple. And look, it's great if you can find joy in great big things, but when you can find joy in the tiniest little things, that's when life is just like but I like it. This is for the rebels. This is for the people who are having those counterculture questions that say like, I don't want to be in hustle mode all the time. I don't want to be And you'll realize that there's so many more people that feel this way. And and I don't know why these words are coming up, but they're just coming. And if enough of us do this rebelling, it gives everybody else permission to do the same. And then slowly there will be a shift in how we live in this society, especially here in Singapore. Because I feel like we're so stuck in this survival mode, the energy of I need more, I need to make more money, I need this thing, I need that, oh my goodness, and there's like never enough. What we're trying to do here is to tell people that we have enough. Is we don't need so many things, and we're being sold this idea that we need more and more and more, but we already have so much. And it's the time where we come back to the simplest things of what it means to be in community, what it means to be here, existing with each other. And bring back the joy for just living. Enjoying being in our body, enjoying each other's stories, enjoying movement, music, dance, nature, art, good food.
And like we have to unlearn this capitalistic mindset and relearn again. We have to like unlearn everything that we were taught and learn again how to just live. And how to enjoy life. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to enjoy life. You don't have to like work so hard to enjoy. What? No.
And I'm not saying like quit work. Like if you want to work, please like do whatever you want. But like I'm not saying don't make money. I'm not saying don't achieve things. Do all of these things if they are things that you want to do. But truth be told, like, this is part of the counterculture narrative that I've been exploring. Sometimes I'm like, why can't I just be somebody who helps other people make more money? That's what everybody wants to do. Everyone wants to make more money. I could teach people how to make more money, but I'm like, that's not what I'm here to do. I can't guarantee I'm not going to make you more money. But experiences like this and taking the time to offer yourself something like this, that's richness, right? This is like the richness of living life.
Yeah.
Because I get it. We all have our needs. We live in a world where we've got to pay our bills.
Yes.
Fine, I get it.
Yeah.
But there's a certain cutoff point. I read something about, like, maybe this was in the US, but it was something like 80,000 US is like the cutoff point for people's happiness, right? And that's a fair amount of money, right? But like, people who made more than that were not significantly happier or more fulfilled than people who made that, right? So it's like, okay, you need to define for yourself what that point of enough is, because if you don't, you will continue to be on a hamster wheel forever, and you'll still feel that emptiness, and you'll be convinced that if you just get this promotion or move to that house or buy this car, you'll get a temporary feeling of fulfillment, but that will go away. And I think there's something beautiful about that, because it's like life showing you, like, hey, the fulfillment that you're looking for is not in these things, it's in you unlearning and coming back to being able to find the joy in simplicity. I see a responsibility to keep my eyes open to what the true riches of life are, not dismissing, you know, these other things, but like, I've been granted some glimpse into the true beauty of what life is, without the bells and whistles, just the nakedness and the truth of life as it is. And one thing that I love the most about my now relationship with life, I mean, a whole other thing, but like my background of battling suicide and depression and actively hating life and being like, get away from me, to now come into this place where there's like deep intimacy and love and gratitude, so much gratitude for life, that I'm in the truth of it. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't need to run from it anymore. I don't need to change what life is offering me to be okay with it. It's like, oh, okay, cool. It's just literally like the river flowing. Okay, cool. This is what life is offering me now. I deeply trust that this is what I need, what my soul needs. You know?
Yeah. I like our conversation about abundance. This I feel like it's about how we see abundance, how we see like, for example, this question is just coming up. How would we live our life if money, this currency money, did not exist? You know, how would we live it?
Pretty much be doing what I'm doing, to be honest.
You know, like reframing our narrative of what richness is, what fullness is.
Because I think that's the thing, like, okay, let's say I have a certain goal of the money that I want in my life. Really, all I want is a feeling of safety and freedom. Right. And so I get it. We live in a world where we have, you know, monthly baselines that we need to pay. We've got to pay rent, like, I get it. But I feel very, very, very blessed to have this seeing of, like, if you have enough, you have so much. And it's not to say you can't have more. I really believe that, like, there's nothing wrong with having more, but when it's coming from this place of, because what I have now is not enough.
It's lack. Coming from a place of lack and grasping.
And the thing is, there are people in
fear
this
that you
world,
don't.
there are people in this world who are way below the poverty line, who really have nothing. You have nothing. And like, I trust that everyone who's watching this video, you know, has been blessed to not be in that reality. And so if you have been blessed to be in that reality where you actually have enough, even if it might not look like that much compared to somebody else, like, God damn, that's such a blessing. And to use that as a source of being grateful, and to build on that and say, okay, since I have enough, what would it look like to be deeply grateful for simplicity without needing to always ask for more. It's a big conversation, because I'm not pushing away the possibility of having more. I'm not saying that anybody who has goals is greedy.
Yeah.
Far from it. But there is such a tremendous beauty that's available to you when you are in the enoughness of now. Not just because they go, but like so much gets revealed to you when you're no longer in that striving of needing more because right now it's not enough.
It's such a paradox, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it's such a this conversation can go on forever lah.
Yeah.
It's a paradox because if we stop striving for something, then it could also there could be a backwards thing where we're like then I don't need to do anything
Wow.
you know, then you lose that you lose the drive for living because there's no more goal.
Yes.
But then for me what abundance is, or like what drives or motivates my passion for living is knowing that I have enough. So feelings of safety, I have enough to survive, my needs are being met, and I have a community that I feel supported in. I have a community that I feel I can contribute to, and there's this exchange of energy or exchange of service or stories or gifts or talents. So when I have all of these things met, that is what fuels me. So I want to continuously like feed into this
little system,
this little ecosystem
little world,
of life where I feel safe, I know I have enough, I am being supported in my community, I have everything, and I'm contributing to my community, and there's an exchange. There's this
it's reciprocal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not transactional, but it's reciprocal.
Correct.
But that's what came up in my morning pages this morning, actually, this striving, and how I was like, but actually, like, nature, that I get an element of strive in nature, but it's not a striving to prove, and it's not a striving to be like, oh, because I have nothing, I need more. But there is a drive to it, right? And I feel that the way that life moves and the evolutionary force of life itself is it's a momentum, it's this go, and it's this, as we say, flow and continuity. But then humans somehow have like I don't know, when we're living in these ways where we're not quite as free or not quite as aligned, or maybe we have certain blocks, whatever it is, the drive distorts into strive, right? And like
it's like a grasping energy.
Yes.
It's like,
it's like I need to prove myself in order to then be worthy of life being good, you know. And so I was getting these words of like drive, survive, strive, thrive. Right?
Are you a poet? Right, be rhymes.
I'm gonna do like a little spoken word, like drive, survive, thrive. Wow.
That's a lot. I don't even know what time it is. I feel like we rambled for a long time.
I feel like that was a full-on podcast episode. I feel like maybe we've been talking about having a YouTube channel.
Yeah, this is definitely being on YouTube. So long story short, we're
having a retreat.
We're having a retreat, and if these discussions are discussions that you enjoy and pique your curiosity, and you manage to listen to all of our ramblings, then hey, we're gonna do a lot of that in the retreat.
Well, this and more. You know, movement.
Yeah.
stillness.
So each day we will have daily movement, daily meditation, writing, journaling practice, and we will have different activities that will correlate with all our elements. So whether that be through stillness, movement, spoken word, art,
and sharing circles, right? Like really learning from each other.
And this overarching reverence for nature. And finding inspiration from nature.
Yes.
So we hope to see you, and we hope to get to share the retreat with you. Anything else you'd like to say?
One word that we were shying away from a little bit was like transformational, right? Because that can be a word that's like so overused sometimes, but the more we've been feeling into it, we're like, whoa, like it would be mean not to say it. It's just pretty transformational. I feel, as Gayle said, if there's anything that we've shared that you have felt this curiosity around, just know that there are more people like you. There are more people who are asking the same questions that you think are too deep or that you think have no answers. And we're really, really looking forward to the circle of people that are going to gather, because there's so much that we will receive just in that alone.
Yeah.
So if you're hearing the call,
Come to our gathering.
Yes.
Okay, sending you love from the living room.
We love you. Bye.